Let's begin by closing our eyes for a moment, sitting straight. Ishabasyamidam sarvam, Jakincha Jagachandaka, Tena Tyakyana Bhumjita, Magrita Savitanam. The divine presence is everywhere, in everything, in everyone. And we are to perceive that. There is nothing you can have from someone else because everything is his. So this is a perception of a Kriyavan, that he is constantly surrounded by divinity. In everything, in everyone, and within ourselves. I bow to God. I bow to my Gurudev, Baba Hari Haranandaji. I bow to my Guruji, Paramahansa Pragyanandaji, to all the masters of our lineage, saints and sages of all religions all throughout time. And today I bow to all of you, living expressions of the divine. Jai Guru, Jai Guru. Some time ago, Little Baba contacted me and asked me to give a talk. And I said, what would you like me to talk about? And he said, oh, I don't know, you'll think of something. So, I learned a lesson from a very simple experience that'll translate into this topic that we have here. After he spoke with me, I was going to give an initiation program in the town of Bauru, which is in the interior of the state of São Paulo. A good 5-hour bus ride. So I'm watching. It was a beautiful day. Sun was shining. And I'm traveling through looking out the window. And there's wonderful pasture land and fields with cows and forests and lakes and birds are flying. And all of this is happening and going past, going past, going past. And I thought of Gurudev's expression. He said, you are to go beyond the veil of nature's splendor. So that thought struck me as I was watching out the window. And I was looking at nature's splendor. I was looking at this beautiful symbiotic relationship of all these plants and all these animals and the rocks and the hills, and looking at it first on its face. And what direction I would get from that? Well, it makes you smile. If you take a moment and you observe nature, it makes you feel good. It makes you smile. There's a reason for that. So in observing this nature scene and remembering Gurudev's talk, I thought, let me first focus on nature's splendor. And what are all the elements that I am perceiving that make up this nature's splendor? Well, I'm seeing 5 elements. I'm seeing earth, I'm seeing water, fire, air, and space in all of this. And we all who are practicing Kriya, we learned that everything in the universe is made of this. The wonderful thing of practicing Kriya is that it helps you, give you a different perception of life itself and a different perception of your role in it. So 5 elements are going on. Looking at that and seeing how beautiful it is. And as I'm going by, I could not see them, but I knew that there were all types of insects there. So there's mosquitoes, and there's beetles, and there's ants, and all types of insects. There were some butterflies, you could see that. And I could see some animals. as I went by, because as the bus goes by, you see them quickly. And I'm seeing all of that. And what hit me was this link in nature, in this symbiotic relationship. As we learn in Kriya, we learn about the different koshas, the covering. Annamaya kosha. Annamaya kosha is what? It's the food chain. So in observing all of this, I'm observing and perceiving, well, one thing is eating something else, is eating something else, is eating something else. Because that's how energy is passed. So for one thing to flourish, another thing is sacrificed. So taking some time and pondering this, I said, isn't this a spectacular scene of this symbiosis? And all the things that are happening, these are cycles of birth and blossoming and death, decay. Every flower had its moment before it bloomed, and then it blooms so beautifully, shining in the sun, but it will have its time before it also wilts and decays and falls to the ground. Perhaps a new seed is born. And every animal that was there, and every insect there, it lives out its life, its full maturity, and it comes to an end, and it also will perish. And it gets absorbed by nature. So nature is absorbing all of this life. And nature is absorbing, even with us, it absorbs corpses and bodies and urine and excrement. All of this is happening. The cows are there. They're doing their thing. Nature, Mother Nature, is absorbing all of this. And what does she give us in return? Fruits, flowers, vegetables, beautiful trees. So stopping to think about all of that, I thought, oh, how wonderful this is. Yes, we know about it, but to take some time to sit and observe, so, oh, this is so beautiful. All of this is happening. Constant motion, moving, 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 moving. All of these cycles are happening. And within every form, everything is moving. The rivers were flowing. The birds were flying, looking for food, looking to lay eggs, whatever they are doing. And then I thought of, well, here I am, I'm observing this scene. What about me? Every cell of the body, there are cells being born, and there's cells who are dying and decaying and going off. So this body, our body, also changing. Then I thought about all of nature. Everything is breathing. The animals are breathing, the plants are breathing, I am breathing. My exhalation is absorbed by the plants, and their exhalation is given to nourish me, to nourish the animals. We have a symbiotic relationship with nature's splendor. And it is so marvelous to take some time and look at all of this. This breath is part of all creation. Everything is breathing. Everything is breathing constantly. And not only that, everything is breathing to nourish something else. So these cycles are going on constantly. So we are part of that. And all of the creatures that we're seeing, all of these creatures, they had some level of consciousness. The plants have some consciousness, more than the rocks. Insects have a little more consciousness than the plants. The animals have more than the insects. Different animals have more than each other. A cow will be more conscious than a fish, for example. So all of these levels of consciousness, I'm observing. I had time. And I also have a level of consciousness. So in this wonderful scene, there is the exchange of breath. There are these 5 elements. There are levels of consciousness. And everything is in constant change. Constant change. And I thought, and I was laughing, because I thought, well, here I am sitting down, thinking that I'm stationary, but I'm not stationary. The bus is moving. And I'm seeing these scenes outside, seeing those trees. They are moving, but they're not moving. They're stationary. So I was observing how marvelous all of this is. And observing how Kriya has affected our perception of all of this. All of the marvel of the universe. That we are participants and simultaneously we are observers of life itself. You're observing, you're watching, things are happening, you are participating, whether you realize it or not, by your very breath, by your very observation, you are participating. And the same cycles of birth and sustenance and decay, Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, are happening within us and happening all around us. At every moment, we can observe spiritual teachings through nature itself. The Sufis are interesting. They have so many beautiful phrases. And one phrase, they say that the real holy book, the real holy scripture is nature. And every day you turn a page. And this all began with my long trip, but with the phrase of Gurudev. You are to go beyond the veil of nature's splendor. So the first thing we see is nature's splendor. And then in time, we go deeper and deeper inside and we say, oh my, it's so complex. Nature's splendor is inside you too. Look inside your own body, observe all is flowing, nervous system, all of this. It's marvelous. This vehicle, which is the vehicle for our liberation, is a marvelous vehicle, this body. And it's always changing. It's always changing. Still, it houses us for a time. It allows us to interact with all of this that we see. It allows us to interact with all of humanity, all of the people. We make mistakes, but it allows us time to correct them, hopefully, and to interact in the best way we can. So this is a flow of consciousness and a flow of breath and constant change. So the next part of Baba's phrase was the veil, but this is a veil. Maya is a divine projection. It's a divine projection. It's the screen in the movie house. And it is there for a purpose. It's the play of God that you're seeing happening. Just like you're seeing the pastures and the cows and the birds and the fish and the people. It's where you observe. So it is important for us to observe. We have a mind for that. Instead of just living our lives in routines and doing things automatically, we observe. We have that ability to observe. And our mind has the ability to record moments and think about them and separate them and think of what has value for our spiritual progress and what does not really help us. So we start siphoning through this and choosing. Viveka. We are choosing what has value. But the idea of observing, as we observe this screen, is so important. Because nature's splendor is filled with the opposites of attraction and repulsion. There are things we run towards, and there are things we run from. And constantly, we are doing that. Constantly, we are doing that. We run towards, we're attracted. We run from, we are repulsed. By all these names and forms. The veil also has a purpose. This screen. For those who have more thought, we think, wait, what is behind the screen? Who is projecting this? There's a wonderful part of Yogananda's book, I believe it was the autobiography, that he talked about being in a movie house. And everything went dark and the screen lit up. But he looked up and he saw there was a projection, just projecting light. And all of these images, which made the audience jump in fear or laugh out loud, was nothing but a projection of light. Nothing but a projection of light. And at the end, the lights went out, people got up and left, and he looked and he saw that the lights were out in the projection booth. So he said, aha. So this projection of all of these scenes we think are so real, they even affect our emotions, are nothing but projections of light. And the screen has the purpose of revealing that to us. So those with a little more perception think, what is behind this? What is the mechanism that gives all of this life? What gives it life? If you think about our daily life, you think about the gunas, the three attributes, tamas, rajas, and sattva, that we have been studying. Tamas is our ignorance, laziness, inertia. Rajas is the activity and movement, and sattva is that calmness, harmoniousness. If we think, both tamas and rajas have the same result in the sense this is a centrifugal force that is propelling us to the outside, just to believe that the surface of life itself is the only reality. Back to the idea of attraction and repulsion. But both of those swing us outside. We swing outside. And we believe this is the only thing that's real. So if we are sitting home and you turn on television, you see all this horrible news, you say, oh God, everything is bad. Or you see a comedy and you're laughing, you say, oh, everything is nice. They are projections. They are projections. So when we are involved, or when we are in a tamasic state, we think, oh, nothing will work out for me. Things are bad. Or we're in a rajasic state. We say, we have to do it, gotta do it, gotta do it, gotta do it, gotta do it. Too much. So there we have sattva. Whereas tamas and rajas are part of a centrifugal force to keep us outside, sattva, when we are calm, when we meditate, when we do studies, we go in a different direction. There's a centripetal force that pulls us inside. It's pulling us. It's pulling us. See, this way, this way. And this centripetal force takes us to our center. It takes us to our essence. So outside, which we believe was the only reality, doesn't apply anymore. We know what's going on. We know what's going on. It's like we said when we lived in Miami, you looked at the hurricanes, there's an eye of the hurricane where things are calm, and the rest there's terrible destruction, knocking over trees and all. But if you went to the center, to the eye of the hurricane, it would be calm. The sun is shining. So sattva, to be more sattvic, pulls us to that. And that is the reality of our own essence. So go to Gurudev's phrase, to go beyond, he said, go beyond the veil of nature's splendor. I've been reading it backwards to sort of separate these issues. To go beyond. So that's when we get to the point and we say, no, life must be more than this, all of this that I'm seeing around me. Even the things I'm attracted to, life must be more than that. And I must be more than I think I am. Not to be subjected only to the whims of the world and life and the whirlwind of my emotions. No. There must be more than this. And I must be more than this. So this is now, we are going behind the curtain. Behind the curtain. We want to say, what makes this happen? What makes all of this happen? What makes nature so beautiful with all of these interactions and symbiotic relationships and different levels of consciousness and the different food chain and how it feeds each other with energy and how the breath is rhythm. But behind all of this, there is a truth that is giving life to all of this. As Gurudev himself would say, you look at a light bulb can be beautiful, nice and curved, nicely formed, but there's something that gives light and heat to that light bulb. So when we try to look behind the curtain, to go beyond the veil of nature's splendor, we can try to perceive that which gives life to all of this manifestation, this wonderful manifestation, which is also God. This is Kriya. This is Kriya. Kriya helps us differentiate between the form, the Prakriti, that's Saguna. Brahman as Saguna, which is form and its attributes. This is also God. It's a projection of God. But behind it, what creates this whole projection is Nirguna, Brahman as formless, without attributes. Without attributes. That gives sustenance and gives life to all of this. So it's a peeking behind the curtain. Say, there it is. So many millions will never try to look behind that curtain because being so obsessed through the five senses, through the attraction and repulsion, through what they perceive as real. But for those who question maybe a little deeper, will say, no, there must be something. I feel there is something there, and I feel that I am more than what I think I am. So then you meditate, and then you practice, and you study. And we are so fortunate to have the loving care of gurus who know that path, who have been there. You'll always follow a guide who has already been there and say, no, behind this curtain, there is something so marvelous. And not only is it more marvelous than nature's splendor, but it is also what you are made of. What you are made of. The essence of who you are. So we try. And we try again. And we try again. And we try again. Until that trying becomes a habit. Becomes a habit. So from that circle, I'll say, tamas and rajas pulling us outside, sattva going in, going in, going in, going in towards the center. From that point, you can see from what is behind the curtain, what is beyond the veil of nature's splendor. That's the path. Just today, I was talking to Phil Baba, and he was joking with me, saying, "You're gonna show us a roadmap?" I say, "Oh, where's the roadmap?" It's your spine. Have you thought? Do you remember when you were initiated? Hopefully you do. There was a mantra said that when earth dissolves into water, and water dissolves into fire, fire dissolves into air, and air goes to space, there we bow at the lotus feet of the Master and enter the divine kingdom. If you read the scripture, creation was from nothingness. God was alone and wanted to be many. And from this vacuum, space, movement was created. Air, we'll call it air. Air is moving, that creates heat, fire. From heat, you get moisture, water, and from moisture comes earth. That's the path of creation. Everything was created with that direction. But the divine created this whole marvelous universe and entered into his own creation with the intent of coming back to the source. So everything is in a state of evolution. Kriya Yoga is a shortcut. Because what that mantra said in your initiation was the opposite direction. The direction of evolution. With the 5 elements, you saw, each element represents a different density, doesn't it? And think about the activities of each one of those levels. Earth, we say, is related with earning money and possession, things like that, is the most dense. Earth is the most dense of the elements. We are here in the world, we have to do our things, but understanding that that is the most dense. The second is our interaction, social life, family life. That's the water element. A little less dense than the earth element, but also limiting unto itself. Still, we must interact. Going up one more, in the navel center, fire element. Fire is less dense than the water. Going up, heart center, the activities of the heart center, these emotions, be very careful, because they can take us in either way. But by analyzing these emotions, by choosing proper emotions, kindness, love, sharing, goodness, the air is less dense than the fire. Coming up, throat center is what? Vishuddha chakra. What is that? That's your religion, your philosophies, choosing them well, that could help us go up. Soul center, Guru center, and up to God. So this is a pathway, if you want to map. So as you choose the activities of your life, most people here are family people. They're working, they take care of families, they pay bills, they do all of that. Kriya Yoga is for you, too. And as you look at all of the activities of your life, which activities are more dense than others, then you choose your time and how to do it. And the quality of your interaction with each one of those centers, each one of those elements, to choose, go up, 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 up. You're meditating constantly. This is helping you. This is guiding you. You come to the top. Go beyond the veil of nature's splendor. We are here We are to do the very best we can while we're here. But we are also to have a deeper perception. Gurudev had a saying. He would say, when I see you, I see two things at a time. I see the name and form, and I see who you really are. Think of that. He would say, I see two things at a time. I see the name and form, and I see who you really are, who you really are. And this is the beauty of having gurus who know who we really are. And therefore they can encourage us, they can guide us, they can scold us if necessary, they can show us new things, because they know who we really are. We don't know who we really are yet, but they do. And to trust in that force, and let that force guide us, let that force take us by the hand and to go forward, success is guaranteed. Have you thought about that? Success is guaranteed. You may recall that in your initiation, gurus made that promise. They made the promise to you. When the Acharya bowed, the promise was to the divine in you that they would guide, protect, help you until your final liberation. And that is solemn. That is real. So gurus will help us go beyond the veil of nature's splendor. Nothing wrong with looking at nature and seeing how beautiful it is and understanding all of its mechanisms and understanding your participation in all of that. But then the wise will say, yes, but something's behind us. Something is a little deeper than all of this. And that's what I am to perceive. If I am here in this life, if I was born in this life, if I have a period of time that I will be here, I am to do the best job I can in that direction, in that aim, and expressing that divinity in all moments, wherever we are, in any conditions we are. There's no excuse not to. From Saguna, Brahma is Saguna, form, to Brahman as Nirguna, formless, beyond form. Where did we come from? Where did our soul come from? It came from formless. We entered the form for a time to interact, to progress, to walk and talk, and correct ourselves and go forward. In a time, this phase, this chapter of life ends. Another one later will continue. As the soul progresses on and on and on and on and on. Because in a sense, we are already beyond the veil of nature's splendor. Once we enter form, and with the mind and the five senses and the attraction and repulsion, we get absorbed with this. But we are more than that. To practice Kriya is to take on a practice and a way of being and thinking that we need to bring into our daily lives or practical life. Not just in an ashram, or not just in a retreat or a program, but in daily life. The same situation which I mentioned to you on my bus ride taught me so much. I spent time, I was taking notes as I was looking at it. The next time you go to the ocean and you sit at the ocean and you sit and you look at and the waves coming in, how marvelous they are, how we sit there and watch. So many people are just looking at the ocean and you see the play of the waves. The wave comes up for a time, beautiful and majestic, and it will sink back into the ocean. The wave was never a separate entity in that sense. The wave was always the ocean, the same as us. But we watched the play. And behind the play is the divine guiding all of this. Big waves, small waves. They come for a time and they will disappear. They were always the ocean. Next time you go to a park, sit, observe nature. Observe this marvelous system that is there, all of these systems. Observe how you are breathing and connecting with that and it with you. And then ask yourself, what is the mechanism and the force that is behind this? Where is the Purusha creating this Prakriti? So that becomes a spiritual moment. That's what I wanted to share with you today. Kriya is alive. More than just practicing Kriya, we are to be Kriya. And take it on. Let gurus take a bullet in your heart. Say, guide me, show me. Oh, the divine is here, the divine is here, the divine is here. Thank you. To go beyond ignorance. To go beyond ignorance. I thought there was a moment for question and answer. I have a girl who she was initiated here in Sao Paulo. Now she's up in Baltimore. Hello, Adriana. Happy that you are there. Sure, sharing the talk. Only to show you that this is Kriya Yoga in the practical life. Gurudev would say that. Kriya Yoga in the practical life. Make it part of your life, how you perceive things. In the office, with the family, walking through the park, in the hubbub of life. To try not to get so absorbed by it and say, no, there's something behind this. And God is behind this. So this is Kriya. Thank you for your comments. I'm seeing them here. If anybody has a question, we can answer the question. If not, we'll do a nice little meditation today. The talks appear on Kriya's YouTube channel. Oh, okay. So there you have it. Different flowers are best examples of beauty and action of God. Yeah. Isn't diversity amazing? Different flowers. And it's all God. You could see so many different types of apples. Each apple you taste, you say, I know it's an apple, but you look, oh, it's a different one than the other apple. You go to the ashram in Miami, so many different types of bananas. You taste and you say, oh, it's a banana. That's a common theme, and yet there are so many different ones. This is the marvelous play of God. We should see it as such. No use saying this is unreal, this is not real, this is Maya, this is not real. No, this is also God. It's a projection of God. But not to be attached to only that. As I was sitting in the bus, these scenes were going by me quickly. I had no time to be attached to one cow that I saw or a beautiful tree. Nope, this is life. Bup, 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 bup. It's all God. It's all God. Life goes by quickly. Life goes by quickly. Waste not time with none but God, then time will not be wasted. Use your time, use every day. Connect with the breath. What is sadhusanga? Sadhusanga is being in a moment in with like-minded people thinking of something spiritual, beautiful. If we have a moment like this, we are interconnected with each other. Yeah, that's sadhu sangha. What if we don't have each other? Gurudev would say, if you are sitting and you're reading the Bible, you're reading the Bhagavad Gita, or the Dhammapada of Buddha, you are sitting with that. This is sadhu sangha. You're in good company, good company. Reading some spiritual text, that's good company. And what if you don't have a book near you? Baba would say, your breath is the good company. It's the best. Anywhere you are, anywhere you are. Stop, concentrate, the breath. This is the best company. And he is with you all the time. Guru is with us all the time. God is with us all the time. And they are breathing. Gurudev would say, your breath is my presence in you. So when you go outside today and you take a look at nature, you say, oh God, you are here. You are everywhere. And you're also breathing in me. You're breathing in me. Give me deeper perception. Give me more clarity. Let me express the divinity that is already within me in my interactions with people. Doesn't mean you have to be going teaching scripture or anything, but just be kind, be respectful, be loving, be generous, be forgiving. That's good, isn't it? I started by the first sloka from the Isha Upanishad because basically is saying we are surrounded by the divine in everything, in everyone, everywhere, and in ourselves. Every face that you see is a unique expression of the divine, isn't it? Every face that you see, a unique expression. Who are we to say this is beautiful, this is ugly, if it's all divine? If it's all divine, it's all beautiful. So let's close our eyes for a couple of minutes, please. Let's do a simple general meditation. See God in everything. Yes, Sharma. See God in everything. Let's close the eyes, please. Sitting straight. Sensing the breath, feeling the breath. We think we are breathing. Who is breathing? The Supreme Almighty Lord of the whole universe is taking a time to breathe in each one of us. So our life has purpose. It has meaning. He determines it so. Feel how he's breathing. And love God in every breath. Love God in every breath. Oh God, you are so kind to be breathing in me. Just to be feeling that for a moment. Now inhale, slow, long, and deep. Exhale, slow, long, deep. Inhale, slow, long, deep. Exhale, same. Continue like this. Join with this breath. Taking our mind to focus on one thing, only the breath. Yesterday is gone. The future hasn't come yet. No time for memories of the past or worries about the future. There's only now. Only now. The now expressed in every single breath. Try. Sense that breath is coming directly from him. Everyone talks of yoga. What is yoga? Yoga is union. This is union. A direct union. Oh God, I'm your child. Inhaling deep, exhaling deep. Now take a slow, long, deep inhalation in. Hold. Now bow forward. Bend your head forward. Curve your spine. Exhale. Normal conscious breathing. Still focusing within. Focus on the top. Bowing. We are humble. We are loving. We are grateful. This is an opportunity. Life is an opportunity. And this moment of sadhusanga is an opportunity. Yanamulam Guru Murti, Pujamulam Guru Padam, Mantramulam Guru Vakyam, Mokshamulam Guru Krupa, Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devu Maheshwaraha, Guru Saksha Param Brahma, Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Guru is Brahma, creating our spiritual life. And Guru is Vishnu, guiding, protecting, sustaining. And Guru is Shiva, helping us transform. Gurudev would always say, he'd say, what is your change? You are to ask yourself, what is your change? Kriya is for us to change, to be who we truly are, divine in essence. So look in yourself. Eliminate the things that don't help your progress. Change. Any attitude, any behavior, any habit you don't like, remove it. Be who you are. Be who you truly are. Baba would say, you are not you, you are the real you. Now take a slow, long, deep inhalation up. Inhale, hold, and then go back to sitting with the spine straight. Close your eyes. Focus between the eyebrows. Inhaling, exhaling through there. And now with these qualities, inhaling love. Exhaling peace. Inhale love. Exhale peace. Continue like this, inhaling love, exhaling peace, please. And slowly we leave the turbulence of the surface to dive deep within, into the silence, into the stillness, into truth. Let's just meditate for a few minutes, please, with this attitude. Sarvam Kavidam Brahma. Everything that exists is Brahma. Tattvamasi, and you are that. Aham Brahmasmi, you are Brahma. I and he are one and always have been one. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Love and peace and harmony for our own families and for our own communities, and love and peace and harmony for our countries, for all of humanity, and love and harmony for the natural world, for the forests and the rivers and the plants and oceans, mountains, all of the creatures within, plants and animals, and peace and harmony throughout all of creation. We are all children of the same one loving Father. We are to perceive that. Asking for the blessings of our gurus for all of us. I bow to the living presence of God in each one of you, thanking you for the opportunity to serve. Jai Guru, Jai Guru, Jai Guru, Jai. Take advantage of this very special time. We have Guruji's birthday on Thursday, coinciding now for the 50th year of Gurudev coming to the West. Thank Gurudev, thank Guruji. They have brought all of this to us. They have brought a spiritual treasure to us. And gurus are with hands open, waiting for us to take it, to use it, to apply in daily life. So do that. Do that. Thank you very much, all. Thank you. Jai Guru. And thank you, Phil Baba and Matt Baba. Jai Guru. Until next time. Jai Guru.